in the privatization of long-term care or our retirement homes? Because we know when it started. It started in 1995 under Mike Harris. No secret there. Here's what's been a secret. But the Star talked about it this week on a Saturday paper, front page of the paper. And I know you're not supposed to do this, but I'm going to just read off it. I'm not going to hold it up. For-profit nursing home chains make big payouts to shareholders and executives. And I read that. I went, well, how much are they doing? You know, what's a couple bucks for a shareholder? You know what they did? They took $1.5 billion. That's with a B, Mr. Speaker, with a B, billion, out of the system. And gave it to who? They gave it to their shareholders. They gave it to their shareholders. Mike Harris is the chair of Chartwell. He gets paid $265,000 to work part-time for a part-time gig, probably more than he made when he was the Premier of Ontario. And who suffers? So when you say, you know, we got to wait 3.5 years, who suffers from that? Where should that money have went? I'll tell you where I think it should have went. It should have went right back into the care. So when you say, well, you know, 3.5 years, you can fix that tomorrow. And don't stand over here sitting there. Don't look over there like I'm not telling you something. You know, that's why you don't want a public inquiry. Because you don't want this to be debated to the public. You want to control it. You want to control the message. Well, you know what? Articles like this one here, 3 firms control 19,000 Ontario beds, all private. 19,000. And you know what happened when we went through this COVID-19? Our grandmothers, our grandfathers, our aunts, our uncles, our mom and dad, they've died. They've died so somebody can make money on the backs of our seniors. Or they didn't have enough staffing. Didn't have enough staffing. Not enough PSWs. And why is that? Because we won't pay them. Exactly. We won't train them. We won't give them full-time jobs. That's what we should be talking about. And we should be having committee hearings so they can come and say, this is what we need to do our job better, to save our parents, to save our grandparents, and maybe even save me. I'm getting a little older with a little long hair. That's it. But at the end of the day, that's what you need. Why aren't we doing that? Because you want control. You want to control everything. You don't want to hear from the residents out there that are grieving every day because of what happened with COVID-19 in our long-term care facilities. I stood up here and talked about Lundy Manor, not a long-term care facility, but a private-run retirement home. 19 people died there. 19. Why are we not having them come to committee and say, why do you think? You know, I want to say to my colleagues, and my colleagues over here, in 2 days in that facility, a mom and a dad, husband and wife, passed away within 2 days. Not 1, 2. Do you know what it's like to lose a mother or a father and how you have to grieve? And I ask any of you over there. I'll ask my colleagues. How do you grieve when you lose one mom? But how do you grieve when you lose your mom and dad? That was preventable because they didn't have PPE, because they didn't have staffing, because they continued eating cafeterias. All these things should be discussed around long-term care.